I think we need to talk a little bit about just timing risk on all
Yeah.
of this, because if you were going to have a mistake, the A&M game, if you were going to have a mistake in the red zone, you would want it to be in the first half, right? I mean, at least then you've got the worst time to have a mistake in the red zone. It's a close game in the fourth quarter, and that's really what we're talking about here.
Yep.
It's the fourth quarter of your working career when you're that 5 to 10 years out, and that's when we really don't want to have a mistake in the retirement red zone. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that and how timing risk plays into all this.
So I mentioned in the first of the show that there are risks that you face in the retirement red zone and into retirement that you don't face when you're in pre-retirement years and farther out. And that first one is, as Troy mentioned, timing risk. It's also called sequence risk, but it basically, John, is the reverse of what you were talking about with dollar cost averaging, right?
Yeah.
When you're accumulating shares as a younger accumulating client or accumulating investor, you're not as concerned or shouldn't be as concerned about your account value because you're trying to accumulate shares. You're purchasing shares, so when the market goes down, you are getting more shares for less contribution, less money, right? And then when those shares over time hopefully go up, you've got more shares and possibly a better return. But the opposite is true because again, there's no question about it, the solution in retirement planning is income. The outcome is income. So you are going to be receiving some of your assets are going to be turned into an income stream on some level if you're going to use it at all. And then you are selling, right? So now we get back to you need to be able to control when you sell and what you sell to be able to avoid what is known as reverse dollar cost averaging.
Scott, I was saying to a client just yesterday, the thing that destroys a portfolio is not necessarily a bear market, but the thing that destroys a portfolio is selling assets in a bear market, because you're not losing. In reality, you're having a temporary decline in value, but you're not losing. You don't depossess those shares, if you will. You still have those shares. They're just of lesser value. But when you sell shares, then those shares are gone and never going to come back. And so that's one of the things that is a nuance, but it is a very critical nuance that we try to deal with here at Gen Wealth as we build our ready to retire process.
Yeah, and the way you do that is you keep a good cash buffer when you're in retirement. So if you've at any given point, if you've got 1 year to 2 years worth of what you're taking as income, so whatever you're taking out of your investments as income, multiply that by somewhere between 12 and 24 months. If you've got that amount in cash, then when we have a year like we're in right now, you're not in a position where you have to sell your investments that are down. You can just use some of that cash that you've got kind of on the sideline that's primed and ready to go.
Want more content like this delivered to your inbox weekly? Visit fastest4.com to learn more.